Welcome back to my new account series. So to start with, there was a few quests I wanted to get out of the way because they give you a head start in thieving and fletching, and there might have been some other reasons for doing them, but at this point I can't actually remember anymore because this was recorded a couple of weeks ago. My goals at the moment are working on max cape and quest cape anyway, so all these need to be done eventually, and I find quests more bearable, so when the XP reward actually feels a bit more, well, rewarding. I started the Desert Quest series and completed Stolen Hearts, which was followed by Diamond in the Rough, and then the Jack of Spades quest, which also unlocks Menaphos. Now, I haven't been doing this up to this point yet, but I'll need to start the daily obelisks soon to work on the reputation, as that's needed for quests in the future, and it's just the easiest way to get your reputation up is just doing the daily cap of that. I've been keeping on top of my Anachronia as well and trying just to level up everything in the base camp. First, you should try and max out the sleeping quarters, obviously, because then once you've got the most workers to assign, you're going to get through everything else even quicker. And I've just put in this clip as a reminder of me using my keys up because, like I said, I'm not buying any extra in this series. These are all just rewards from just playing the game, so mostly quests at this point. And I'm putting everything into agility still because my rune crafting wood cutting is still super low, and that might be a bit of a waste because obviously agility is lossless with Silverhawk boots, so that's something you might want to consider if you're trying to be super duper efficient. And I'm not going to show you every time I'm using my keys, but I thought I might update you every episode or so just to show you what I'm putting all that free XP into. I went back to questing after that and completed Iclarin's Little Helper and then Contact, and then once those two were done I started the Thieves Guild quests. So Buyers and Sellers is the first one, and then From Tiny Acorns is the first mini quest. And once those were done I was able to train thieving at the doors in the guild, so I did that until I was 15k off of level 42. And 42 is the requirement for the Temple of Ikov quest, and doing another quest will get me the remaining thieving XP. I went back to doing some cooking in the Citadel, and this was because not enough time had elapsed for me to pause the double XP timer again, and I didn't want to waste it by just leaving it running whilst I was doing quests, because obviously, you know, if I was going to be able to play enough to use it all up, it made sense to use it on skilling. So I cooked belt fish until I was boosted up to 85 or so, and then I started sharks. And maybe I could have started those earlier because I barely burned any, but that's when I did, so you could try differently. Then the last thing I did before pausing the timer was some Hunter Divine locations, which got me another few levels. And I've noticed I'm getting a lot of protein items from using my keys up, so I think maybe in the future they'll be used on Hunter traps. I'm not sure exactly, but I think those are the best to use. I'll need to double check, but I think you need around level 76 to use on the Jadinkos on Anachronia, so that's something for me to figure out later on, but that's kind of a plan I have. Once I was able to pause the double XP timer again, I completed the feud, and then I finished off the next Thieves Guild mini quest, which was Lost Her Marbles. And after that I went and completed the Temple of Ikov quest, which gets you 25 fletching all the way from level 1. And again, getting 25 fletching from level 1 won't take particularly long at all with double XP, but it just makes sense to do it this way if, you know, I'm going to end up wanting to complete all the quests anyway. Now the next quest I did was super important for my plans, and that was the Tourist Trap quest, because this unlocks the ability to fletch darts. So quickly before I did that, I did some more divine locations, and I'm not going to keep showing you every time. Actually, I'm not sure if I have shown you every time, but I'm not going to bother showing you every time that I do divine locations because, you know, it's just the same thing over and over again. But just know that if you ever see that my hunter has gone up or maybe a random mining level here, it's either a random key from a quest or it would have been from divine locations. So I started fletching and my goal was at least level 75 for all quests, but I just kept going because you need 90 plus for some tasks anyway, and my method was just fletching the best darts I could. And similarly to other skills, I would just keep an eye on how high my level had been boosted in the Citadel, and often I was fletching darts, you know, a tier above my level. Whilst I was At the Citadel, I also started construction via the portable workbenches, and I hadn't actually used these since they'd been released, but they are a very chill method of training. So chill, in fact, I just ended up sitting here until I had 81 construction, which is the highest you need for quests, and I think I only left to do some divine locations. After I was done with construction for the time being, I went to the artisan's workshop to get the last couple of smithing levels, and like before, I just made the best barrel plate body that I could, and I stopped at 82 to go and do some more thieving in the Thieves Guild. My goal here was to get 62 thieving because that's a requirement for the final Thieves Guild quest, and once you've completed that, you unlock the ability to do safe cracking, which is a very nice way of training thieving and something that I'll be doing, off double XP when it comes to leveling thieving, because although doors are super fast, it's a bit annoying. You've got to pay a lot of attention and you've got to constantly hop worlds, so I just wanted to get to the safe cracking point using double XP. So I got to 62 thieving, and then I think when I finished that, there was just about to be a cache. Now, I hadn't started doing any cache on this account yet, but I thought I might as well at this point. It just worked out so perfectly, the timing. So I did my first cache, which got me, I think, 1 to 17 divination. And like some other daily things, I'm not going to bother showing every time I'm doing this. It just seems a bit pointless. But you'll see my divination going up when you have a look at my stats from clip to clip or episode to episode. So just know that I'm trying to keep on top of that, and I think up to this point, a couple of weeks later, I've been getting my 2 cache every day done, so divination's going up nicely. After the cache, I did the final Thieves Guild quest, and that was a guild of our own. So at this point, I'm done with thieving for double XP, and I've unlocked the ability to do safe cracking, so I'll do that in the future when I feel it's time to train thieving. The next skill I worked on was 90 construction, and that was just to unlock the character in player-owned ports. So I just followed the construction training methods on the wiki, so I just worked my way through up some random bits of furniture, and then once I was at 52, I just made the mahogany table flat packs on the portable workbench. Once I'd got 90 construction done, I went on to cooking, going for 90 in that as well, and this was when I actually got my first skilling pet. So at level 85, which I guess is kind of lucky, but it's not super low level, I got Ramsey the cooking pet, and then I finished off 90 cooking and went back to fletching. So this footage is from the last day of double XP, the night before, and I didn't end up using all my time up. I had work and whatnot, other distractions, but yeah, I just did fletching for the final night, just going for 90 plus because there's some tasks that you need it for, and I think you need it to make some scrimshaws. I'm not even sure if scrimshaws are really best in slot anymore for anything, but I just thought it was quite a chill skill to work on for the last few hours that I had. And then the very last thing I did on double XP before going to bed was I used up the balloon fragments from the event that was going on at the time. So the balloon fragments could be converted into balloons, which then gave you lamps and stars amongst other things. Now, I had 27 wood cutting at this point. I'm not sure if that was from a quest or how that had gone up a bit, but I thought I might as well use up all these stars. And now this was kind of ridiculous, so I went from 27 to 49 just from using all these up. Which is a bit dumb, but what can you say? But anyway, so that would put me at a point where I was then happy to use my lamps and stars on it in the future that I get from quests. Like I said, this was the end of double XP for me, so I think this takes me nicely to the end of another video. So I'll leave it here for now, and after this I get working on a lot of quests. So yeah, I'll edit all that together and start showing you the order in which I'm doing them. It's just a lot of quests and daily scape when I'm got time to play and I'm not working or doing whatever else. So thanks for watching and hope you enjoy, and leave a like if you do, or a comment if you've got any feedback, and I'll see you later.